Welcome to the Stoic Balance. We appreciate you for stopping by. Let's first start by asking you this. Do you feel like you are living your life as a puppet on a string, controlled by the whims of others? You may think you're making your own choices, but what if someone else is pulling the strings behind the scenes? It's a frightening thought, isn't it? The truth is, manipulation is all around us. People are constantly trying to influence our thoughts, feelings, and decisions, often disguising their tactics as friendly advice or casual conversation. In this video, we'll delve into the 10 telltale signs that you're being manipulated without even realizing it. We'll expose the covert techniques used to exert control over your life and provide you with the tools you need to break free from their grasp. Are you ready to question everything you thought you knew about your relationships and interactions with others? Are you tired of being a pawn in someone else's game? It's time to take back control of your life. Don't let the manipulators win. Arm yourself with knowledge and discover the power at your fingertips. Let's get started now with lesson 1. Don't give in to emotional appeals. Here we'll explore the power of reason in the face of emotional appeals, then learn how to navigate the treacherous waters of this form of manipulation. First, let's talk about the allure of it. To greater understand what we mean, here is an example. Imagine yourself in the shoes of Marcus Aurelius, the great Roman emperor and Stoic. His trusted advisor, Cassius, passionately argues for a military campaign, painting a vivid picture of glory and riches. Cassius appeals to Marcus Aurelius's sense of pride and the thrill of victory, urging him to trust his instincts and seize the opportunity. It's a compelling argument, isn't it? But wait, let's take a step back and examine this through the lens of Stoicism. As a Stoic, Marcus Aurelius knows that emotions can cloud judgment. He pauses, separating himself from the heat of the moment, and begins to evaluate the situation objectively. He asks himself crucial questions. What are the facts? What are the potential risks and benefits? How does this align with his duties as an emperor and the well-being of his people? By focusing on reason and logic, Marcus Aurelius starts to see the situation more clearly. He realizes that Cassius's emotional appeals lack a thorough consideration of the consequences and fail to address practical concerns. Marcus Aurelius recognizes that Cassius's motives may be influenced by personal ambition rather than a rational assessment of the kingdom's best interests. Armed with this insight, Marcus Aurelius engages in a calm and rational discussion with Cassius. He acknowledges the allure of conquest, but emphasizes the need for a well-thought-out plan and a thorough understanding of the risks involved. By relying on reason and logic, Marcus Aurelius navigates the conversation with clarity and purpose, ensuring that the decision is based on sound judgment rather than fleeting emotions. So, what can we learn from Marcus Aurelius and the Stoic approach to emotional manipulation? When someone consistently appeals to your feelings instead of presenting logical arguments, it's essential to be cautious and evaluate their motives. Stoicism teaches us to cultivate a habit of relying on reason and logic, developing the mental fortitude to resist the sway of emotions. In a world where emotions are often used as tools of influence, let us remember to trust in the strength of our rational mind to guide us towards the most appropriate course of action. Number 2, excessive flattery. Have you ever been swayed by someone's flattery, only to later realize their true intentions? It's a common trap many of us fall into, but the ancient philosophy of Stoicism holds the key to protecting yourself from manipulative flatterers. Stoicism teaches us to focus on our own character and actions rather than seeking validation from others. By developing self-awareness, we can distinguish genuine praise from empty words designed to manipulate. Regular self-reflection helps us recognize when we're being influenced by flattery, enabling us to make more rational decisions. Another key aspect is humility. Acknowledging our strengths and weaknesses objectively reduces our reliance on others' validation. This humility allows us to approach flattery with skepticism, recognizing that true growth comes from honest feedback, not empty compliments. Surrounding ourselves with honest, supportive people is another way to apply Stoic principles. Seek out constructive feedback from those who have your best interests at heart. These trusted individuals help you navigate the complexities of human interaction and spot manipulative tactics. Ultimately, the Stoic approach to avoiding manipulation by flatterers comes down to trusting your instincts. When something feels insincere or too good to be true, it probably is. By developing a strong sense of self and a clear moral compass, you can learn to trust your gut and make decisions based on your own values and principles. Throughout history, individuals like Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and renowned Stoic philosopher, embodied these principles. Despite being surrounded by flatterers, he remained true to his values, making decisions based on what was best for the empire, rather than his own ego. In my own life, I've experienced the pitfalls of falling for flattery firsthand. As a young professional, a colleague consistently praised my work, making me rely on their approval and make decisions based on what would garner their praise. It wasn't until I realized the extent of the manipulation and broke free from seeking validation through flattery. The power to avoid manipulation lies within you. By embracing self-reflection, humility, and a commitment to personal growth, you can develop the mental fortitude to stay true to yourself and make decisions based on your own values. So, the next time someone's praise seems too good to be true, pause, reflect, and trust your instincts. By doing so, you'll be well on your way to living a life of authenticity, integrity, and true self-mastery. Number 3, guilt tripping. Manipulators may try to make you feel guilty for not complying with their wishes. Stoicism emphasizes taking responsibility for your own actions and emotions. Recognize when someone is attempting to control you through guilt and assert your boundaries. One of the challenges we often face is dealing with manipulative behavior from others, particularly in the form of guilt tripping. By understanding and applying Stoic principles, we can learn to identify and resist such manipulation, maintaining our integrity and peace of mind. Guilt tripping is a common tactic used by manipulators to exert control over others. They may attempt to make you feel guilty for not complying with their wishes using phrases like, "If you really cared about me, you would," or "After all I've done for you, how could you?" These statements are designed to exploit your sense of empathy and obligation, pressuring you into acting against your own best interests. However, Stoicism teaches us to take responsibility for our own actions and emotions. We cannot control the behavior of others, but we can control how we respond to it. When faced with guilt tripping, it is essential to recognize that the manipulator is attempting to shift the burden of their desires onto you. They are essentially saying, "I will only be happy if you do what I want." But your happiness and well-being should not be contingent upon the whims of others. Instead, Stoicism encourages us to assert our boundaries and maintain our autonomy. This doesn't mean being cold or uncaring, Rather, it means being honest with ourselves and others about what we are willing and able to do. We can respond to guilt tripping with calm assertiveness, saying something like, "I understand that you feel strongly about this, but I have to make decisions based on what I believe is right for me." It's important to remember that we are not responsible for the happiness or unhappiness of others. Each individual is ultimately in charge of their own emotional state. By refusing to be manipulated by guilt, we send a clear message that we respect ourselves and expect to be treated with respect in return. Ultimately, Stoicism is about living a life of integrity and virtue. This means staying true to our values and principles, even in the face of external pressure. On with number 4. Beware of gaslighting. Have you ever been made to feel like you are the one in the wrong, even when your gut tells you otherwise? If so, you may have experienced gaslighting, a form of manipulation that can leave you questioning your own reality and sense of self. This can happen in any type of relationship, whether it's with a romantic partner, a family member, a friend, or even a colleague. It often starts subtly, with making small comments or suggestions that make you doubt yourself. Over time, these comments can escalate into full-blown attacks on your character, leaving you feeling confused, anxious, and unsure of yourself. One of the most insidious things about gaslighting is that it can be difficult to recognize when it's happening. The manipulator may use phrases like, "You're too sensitive," "You're overreacting," or "That never happened," to make you question your own perceptions and memories. They may also try to shift the blame onto you, making you feel like you're the one causing problems in the relationship. If you find yourself constantly apologizing, second-guessing yourself, or feeling like you're walking on eggshells around someone, it's possible that you're experiencing gaslighting. It's important to remember that this is not your fault and you are not alone. Stoics believe in relying on their inner wisdom and not being swayed by external manipulations. As Epictetus stated, it is not events that disturb people, it is their judgments concerning them. When dealing with gaslighting, it is essential to trust your instincts when something feels off in a relationship or interaction. Keeping a journal to record events and conversations can help maintain clarity and counter gaslighting attempts. Seeking outside perspectives from trusted friends, family, or professionals can also help validate your experiences. Setting boundaries and clearly communicating your thoughts and feelings are crucial in dealing with gaslighting. Stoic strategies for coping with gaslighting include practicing mindfulness and focusing on the present moment, distinguishing between what is and isn't within your control, and reframing negative experiences as opportunities for growth and resilience. Now with number 5, love bombing. Have you ever been in a situation where someone you've just met showers you with an overwhelming amount of affection and attention? It's a strange experience, isn't it? This behavior, known as love bombing, is a manipulation tactic that can leave you feeling uncertain about the other person's intentions. In such moments, Stoicism can provide valuable insights, reminding us to find contentment and validation within ourselves rather than seeking it from external sources. This principle is particularly relevant when dealing with love bombing. By recognizing that true happiness comes from within, we can better navigate these emotionally challenging situations. When confronted with love bombing, it's important to take a step back and evaluate the situation objectively. Consider whether the other person's behavior feels genuine or if it seems excessive and insincere. One example of this is when someone is love bombed by a new romantic partner. They may receive an overwhelming amount of compliments and attention, which can initially feel flattering. However, Stoicism would encourage them to consider whether this behavior aligns with the foundation of a healthy, respectful relationship based on mutual trust and genuine connection. The Stoics offers valuable guidance for navigating the complexities of love bombing, especially when it occurs in the context of a new relationship. By focusing on building inner strength, maintaining perspective, and valuing authenticity, we can protect ourselves from falling into the trap of manipulation. True happiness comes from within, and by cultivating our own sense of fulfillment, we can avoid being swayed by external influences. Okay, now number 6, intellectual bullying. Have you ever felt intimidated or silenced by someone who seems to flaunt their knowledge or expertise in a conversation or debate? If so, you may have experienced intellectual bullying, a tactic used by some individuals to assert dominance and control over others. Intellectual bullies often present their opinions as undeniable facts, belittle opposing viewpoints, or use complex jargon to confuse and overwhelm their targets. They may make you feel like your own thoughts and opinions are invalid or inferior, causing you to question yourself and withdraw from the discussion. However, it's crucial to remember that true wisdom is not about showing off one's intelligence or using it as a weapon. Stoic philosophy teaches us the importance of humility and recognizes that everyone has the capacity to learn and grow. A genuinely wise person is open to hearing different perspectives and engaging in respectful dialogue rather than shutting others down or making them feel small. So how can you counter intellectual bullying when you encounter it? First and foremost, don't let someone else's perceived superiority silence you. You have the right to express yourself and contribute to the conversation, regardless of your level of expertise. Stay calm and confident in your own abilities, and remember that your thoughts and opinions have value. One effective strategy is to ask questions and seek clarification. If someone is using complex terminology or making assertions without evidence, don't hesitate to ask them to explain their points in simpler terms or provide sources for their claims. This can help level the playing field and expose any flaws in their arguments. Additionally, continue seeking knowledge from reliable sources outside of the conversation. Read widely, consult experts in the field, and strive to develop a well-rounded understanding of the topic at hand. The more informed you are, the better equipped you'll be to engage in meaningful dialogue and stand your ground against intellectual bullies. Remember, the goal is not to win the conversation or prove your intellectual superiority, but rather to foster a respectful exchange of ideas. By staying true to your own thoughts and opinions while remaining open to learning from others, you can navigate even the most challenging discussions with grace and integrity. Don't let intellectual bullying discourage you from participating in conversations and sharing your unique perspective with the world. Now with number 7, beware of one who is encouraging unhealthy habits. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where someone is trying to get you to engage in behaviors that undermine your well-being? If so, you may be dealing with a manipulator who is trying to influence you through the promotion of unhealthy habits. Manipulators often employ tactics that exploit your vulnerabilities or desires, pushing you towards actions that ultimately harm you. They may try to convince you to engage in excessive drinking, drug use, overspending, or other destructive habits that can lead you astray from your path of personal growth and self-improvement. However, Stoicism teaches us the importance of self-discipline and moderation in all aspects of life. It emphasizes the cultivation of virtues such as wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. By embracing these virtues and maintaining a strong sense of self-control, you can protect yourself from the influence of those who seek to manipulate you through the encouragement of unhealthy habits. When faced with someone who is pushing you towards harmful behaviors, it's crucial to recognize their manipulative intent. Ask yourself if their suggestions align with your values and long-term goals. Consider whether engaging in these habits will contribute to your personal development and well-being or hinder your progress. To avoid falling prey to manipulation through the encouragement of unhealthy habits, stay true to your Stoic principles. Surround yourself with individuals who uplift and inspire you to be your best self. When faced with pressure to engage in harmful behaviors, assert your boundaries firmly and confidently. Remember that your well-being and personal growth should always take precedence over the desires or influences of others. By embracing the Stoic virtues of self-discipline, moderation, and wisdom, you can navigate the challenges of manipulation and maintain a strong sense of self. Stay committed to your values, prioritize your health, and surround yourself with positive influences. In doing so, you will build resilience against those who seek to manipulate you and chart a path towards a fulfilling and virtuous life. Don't let anyone convince you to compromise your well-being for their own agendas. Trust in your judgment and the wisdom of Stoic philosophy to guide you towards a life of integrity and peace. Number 8. One who is causing isolation from others. Have you felt like someone is trying to separate you from your friends, family, or support network? If so, it's important to recognize that this could be a sign of manipulative behavior. Manipulators often attempt to isolate their targets, to increase their control and influence over them. By limiting your access to outside perspectives and guidance, they aim to make you more dependent on them and more susceptible to their manipulation. Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of community and social connections. Stoics recognize that humans are social beings and that healthy relationships contribute to our overall well-being and personal growth. Engaging with others allows us to gain insights, learn from different experiences, and find support during challenging times. If you find yourself in a situation where someone is actively trying to distance you from your support network, it's essential to be cautious and mindful of their intentions. Stoicism teaches us to be self-aware and to critically examine the motives behind people's actions. If someone consistently discourages you from spending time with loved ones or seeks to monopolize your attention, it may be a sign of manipulative behavior. To counter such attempts at isolation, Stoics would advise maintaining healthy relationships with friends and family. Surround yourself with individuals who have your best interests at heart and who provide a safe space for open communication and support. Don't hesitate to seek advice from trusted individuals when faced with difficult situations or decisions. Remember, Stoicism encourages us to cultivate inner strength and self-reliance, but it does not advocate for complete isolation. Instead, it recognizes the value of meaningful connections and the role they play in our personal development and overall well-being. By staying connected to your support network and being mindful of any attempts to isolate you, you can better navigate manipulative situations and maintain your autonomy. Number 9, exploiting your desires. Have you ever been in a situation where someone used your own desires and dreams against you, where they promised to make all your wishes come true, but only if you did exactly what they wanted? If so, you're not alone. Manipulators often exploit our deepest aspirations to control us, but the ancient philosophy of Stoicism offers a powerful solution. Manipulators are skilled at identifying what we crave most in life. It could be love, success, status, money, or security. Once they zero in on our weak spot, they dangle our heart's desire in front of us, like bait on a hook. I can give you everything you've ever wanted, they say, if only you do as I command. It's a tempting offer, to be sure. Who wouldn't want their dreams served up on a silver platter? But there's always a catch. The manipulator's help comes with strings attached. They demand our compliance, our obedience, even our soul. And if we don't cater to their every whim, they threaten to withdraw the very thing we want most. So how do we avoid falling prey to this insidious tactic? The Stoics taught that true contentment comes from within, not from external circumstances beyond our control. Our happiness shouldn't depend on other people or material things. Instead, it should spring from our own virtue, wisdom, and strength of character. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, freedom is secured not by the fulfilling of one's desires, but by the removal of desire. In other words, the key is to manage our wants carefully. We can't let our desires enslave us, or manipulators will use them to pull our strings. Of course, having goals and dreams isn't a bad thing. The problem arises when we feel like we need something external to be happy. That's exactly what manipulators exploit. The belief that we can't be content without their so-called help. The Stoics advise us to be mindful of our desires and scrutinize them closely. Is this something we truly want for good reasons? Or are we just chasing a shiny lure that a manipulator is dangling in front of us? These are the questions we must ask. When we have a strong inner compass, rooted in our core values and grounded in reason, we are far less susceptible to manipulation. We can see through the manipulator's shiny promises. We can walk away from unhealthy situations with our heads held high. We know that our self-worth doesn't depend on anything a manipulator claims they can give us. Ultimately, the Stoic solution is to focus on what's truly in our power. Don't waste energy worrying about things outside your control, like what other people think or do. Instead, concentrate on being the best version of yourself. In a world filled with people looking to take advantage of us, Stoicism offers a powerful defense. By cultivating inner strength, moderating our desires, and focusing on what we can control, we become far less vulnerable. Number 10. The person exhibits inconsistent behavior. Is your partner acting charming one moment and hostile the next? Stoics value consistency and integrity. If someone's actions and words don't align, or if their behavior is erratic, it could be a sign of manipulation. Trust your observations and maintain a steady course, guided by your Stoic principles. Inconsistent behavior is a common tactic employed by manipulators to keep others off balance and maintain control. They may alternate between being charming, attentive, and agreeable one moment, and then suddenly become hostile, dismissive, or confrontational the next. This unpredictability creates a sense of uncertainty and anxiety in those around them, making it difficult for others to feel secure or trust their own perceptions. Manipulators may use their charm to draw people in, making them feel special and appreciated. However, this positive attention can quickly turn into criticism belittlement, or anger when the manipulator doesn't get their way or feels threatened. This hot and cold treatment can be especially confusing and emotionally draining for those on the receiving end, as they may begin to question their own actions and blame themselves for the manipulator's mood swings. In contrast, Stoicism values consistency and integrity as essential virtues. Stoics strive to maintain a steady and rational mindset, guided by their principles and values, regardless of external circumstances. They recognize that true character is demonstrated through the alignment of one's actions and words, and that inconsistency is a sign of a lack of integrity. When faced with someone displaying inconsistent behavior, Stoics would advise trusting your observations and not allowing yourself to be swayed by momentary displays of charm or hostility. Instead, focus on the overall pattern of behavior and assess whether it aligns with your values and principles. Maintaining a steady course guided by your Stoic principles means staying true to yourself and your beliefs, even in the face of manipulation or pressure. This involves cultivating self-awareness, practicing rational thinking, and developing the courage to stand firm in your convictions. By remaining consistent in your own behavior and adhering to your ethical standards, you demonstrate integrity and become less susceptible to the influence of manipulators. Remember that you cannot control the actions of others, but you can control your own responses and choices. When confronted with inconsistent behavior, remain calm, objective, and rational in your assessments. Avoid getting caught up in the emotional turbulence created by the manipulator, and instead focus on maintaining your own emotional equilibrium and making decisions based on reason and wisdom. In summary, inconsistent behavior is a red flag for manipulation, and Stoics recognize the importance of consistency and integrity in both themselves and others. By trusting your observations, staying true to your principles, and maintaining a steady course, you can navigate the challenges posed by manipulators and preserve your own sense of inner peace and self-respect. Thank you for watching this video from the Stoic Balance. Be sure to like and subscribe for more Stoic wisdom on navigating the challenges of life with clarity and equanimity. Until next time, stay balanced and stay Stoic.